So there's a British meta-study covering more than 400 studies that has found that organic foods can have up to 60% more beneficial nutrition than chemical food. It's interesting, you know, a paper comes out in a nutrition journal or in a toxicology journal. For 2 days, it's there, measuring the nutritional emptiness of industrial food and how much more phytochemicals, how much more nutrients the real food has. And then you cannot Google that article. Just as much as when the whole issue of immunity came up. Now, everyone knows that organisms are healthy when they have immunity. Any organism. If a plant is organically fed, it is more resilient and will not be impacted by pests. There'd be the same pests in the field. But the chemically grown field will have attack of pests, and the organically grown field will not have an attack of pests. That's what Howard saw when he says lots of insects and no pests. So we're growing more and more nutritionally empty commodities at higher and higher cost. And then we're turning it magically into cheap food. How can a high-cost production system lead to cheap food? Because the structures of subsidies, the structures of trade, the structures of 400 billion is the agriculture subsidy that makes industrial food cheap enough to dump on third world countries. So they become dependent. Self-sufficient countries who were growing their own food are now importing. And it takes one little instability in the war, one collapse in supply chains for people to have no food. So real food, real farming, for me, is the biggest climate solution. And we've done this work. When you have a climate disaster, what do you want? You want seeds that are resilient, and we've saved the seeds that are resilient, climate-tolerant, salt-tolerant, flood-tolerant, drought-tolerant seeds. And they're able to survive and come back after a cyclone, after a drought. You want good resilience in the soil. Where does the resilience of the soil come from in a time where climate change is leading to more floods and more droughts? You need better holding of water. If your soil can hold more water, the flood is not severe. The flood is worst in areas where the soil has been totally panned.